You are pushing your car hard to merge into fast-moving highway traffic when you suddenly hear a faint metallic rattling sound from under the hood, followed by a weird hesitation that makes the car feel like it is struggling to gain speed. That sound is your engine crying for help because it just triggered a P0329 code for an intermittent knock sensor signal on bank 1. This is one of those codes that should make you pull over and pay attention immediately because the knock sensor is the only thing standing between your engine and a total internal meltdown. It uses a piezoelectric crystal that actually creates its own tiny pulse of electricity every time it feels a specific frequency of vibration, and the powertrain control module listens to this like a doctor with a stethoscope. If it hears the sharp ping of spark detonation, it instantly retards the ignition timing to save your pistons and connecting rods from being hammered to pieces by the force of the explosion. Bank 1 is the side of your engine where cylinder number 1 lives, and that sensor is usually threaded right into the metal of the engine block near the water jacket. Now I have to give you a very serious safety warning here because many of these sensors are screwed directly into the engine coolant passages. If you try to remove a knock sensor while the engine is still hot and the cooling system is under pressure, you are going to get sprayed with a face full of boiling coolant, and that is a trip to the emergency room you definitely want to avoid, so please let the car sit until the metal is cold to the touch. A common reason these sensors fail intermittently is that the wiring gets brittle from years of engine heat, or the sensor itself gets whacked by a heavy wrench during a different repair like replacing a starter or an engine mount. You should also check if you recently filled up with low quality or substandard fuel, because a low octane rating can cause excessive knocking that drives the sensor way beyond its normal operating range. Grab your scanner and look at the knock sensor data while the engine is idling, and if that voltage is jumping around or showing battery voltage when it should be a tiny signal, then you probably have a short in the wiring harness. If the wiring is solid and the signal is still jumping in and out, then you definitely need to swap out that sensor for a fresh one before that intermittent knock turns into a permanent engine failure like a connecting rod contacting the inside of the block.